The first thing I do this morning is trip once again over Kenji's package as I get out of bed, finding myself diving headfirst onto the floor before I am evenly fully awake. I want to smack this thing with the first blunt object I can find, like I'm going for a home run, but I don't even have the energy for that this early in the morning, and I would likely damage whatever's inside, and that would be mean. I slide into the hallway and sails along the smooth floor with little difficulty, and stops with the soft and almost inaudible bump on colliding with Kenji's door, immediately a dozen locks and bolts in succession like a mounting symphony. Who is it? He says that as he blindly steps forward into the hallway anyway, somehow stepping over the box in a way that would be uncharacteristically impressively graceful if it weren't for the fact that I know it was wholly accident. It's me, I got your mail. You're standing over it. I know, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, whatever. So what's in it? He cringes instantly, turning very defensive and agitated. It's nothing. Come on, tell me, I'm curious. You know, I almost broke my neck falling over it, and before that I had to carry that stupidly large box around with it blocking my vision, crossing the road with it in front of me. I think you can at least tell me what's inside it in return. It's secret stuff. I can't tell you because then it wouldn't be very secret and shit. It's nothing important. Well, if it's nothing important, you can tell me. If it's nothing important, why do you have to know? Why is that wrong? Why do you have to know? Why can't I know? Why are you answering my questions with questions? Why wouldn't you answer my first question? Why won't you answer my last question? I realize our voices are getting higher with each reply. Down the hall, a door pops open. Someone sticks his head out quizzically to see what's going on. We must look like such tools, but I bet I'm the only one of the two of us with enough shame to realize it. Fine, you can take it to your grave. I have to get ready for school anyway. Damn, no, why are you so hasty to leave? Stick around a little. You want some coffee? It's been a while, you know. I thought you were dead since you were so slow with the package delivery. You're lucky I was willing to do package delivery in the first place, smartass. Whoa, calm down, man. You're so confrontational. Is it because of the student council thing? I hear you hang out with them, you hang out with them now. You heard it from me when I told you. Really? Yeah, well, whatever, man. The point is, they're terrible. You're the new guy, so of course you wouldn't know, but around here she's a very divisive figure. Before you came here, she tried to institute a badge policy. It's a long story, so maybe you should sit down. I look around for a chair, but I can't find one, as we are in a goddamn hallway. I raise a finger and started thinking that maybe I should tell him that. But he's already started talking, not wanting to waste the arm movement. I look at my watch instead. It would have been a real reign of terror if it had happened. Wait, you're judging her based on something that didn't even happen? Yeah, anyway, her idea was like a merit badge, or merit badges, but there would be also be demerit badges. What would those do? I don't know. It never happened. It seemed bad though, so when I heard about it, I didn't leave my room for a few weeks. So you heard that there would be a massive change and hid in your room, trying just to ride the change out. Nah, I decided to do something about it. I found the student council office after a while and marched right in with a list of demands and a bunch of people I grabbed in order to make myself look like I had supporters. Wait, so not only did it not happen, no one even cared. Kenji didn't hear me, having gotten a complete momentum going. Wrapped up in the energy of his own ranting, he starts to completely flip out and flail his arms, appearing to wildly throw gang signs. I walked up to the desk and said to her, "Hey, fascist woman, what is this badge idea? How out of the touch can you be? Here in your ivory tower, smugly looking down upon us like we're a bunch of idiots. Who do you think you are? Your level of elitism is terrible. You're probably one of those outrageous rich people who have chauffeurs drive them around the slums so they can point and laugh, and only drink pricey coffee beans shadowed by the last living dinosaur and brewed in a solid gilt skull. And how could you go open a history book? Don't you know that the Borgias are always overthrown in a bloody revolution for this shit like this? Stupid. You're an idiot. Sure, the revolutionaries usually end up turning everything into an orderly clusterfuck later on, but a maniac is the only kind of person who would create a policy like this. It's like something I would create to make people suffer. Only real would you want to institutionalize it, or it would be discretion of our rights end. We are people. This is not justice. That's what I said. Then I added a cry that they can take care of things, but they'll never take care of freedom, to appeal to the masses, like in that movie about the life of William Wallace, where they took his things but not his freedom, and then killed him. But she just ignored me and didn't even look up from writing a little paper. Yeah, she's deaf. Maybe I'm overwhelmed with my logic, but so badly she just retreated into denial. Maybe she's just an asshole. Either way, she didn't reply, and the future refused to change. To top it off, on my way back, I realized that I had lost my student ID somewhere. This is the story of my life, a constant, seemingly futile struggle, like trying to climb up a brick wall with sponges for hands. Hey, you said nothing changed, but you didn't make everyone wear a bunch of stupid badges, so it did change. Yeah, that's true. Maybe, okay, maybe there's not so bad then. I guess that counts for something if I can get Kenji to admit that maybe two women may not be too bad, may not be so bad after all. I'll take it, especially if it allows me to slip out of this conversation. I didn't realize how much time had gone by. I try to run through my usual morning routine as quick as possible, and check my watch again as I leave the dorms and see that I'm already late. Fortunately, the rest of the day goes more smoothly, and after class is over, I head to meet with Shizune again. Beyond the school, I catch her leaning against a completed stand with parts of it still flecked with bits of paper and tape, remnants of sign from the last time it was used, absentmindly spinning a nail in her hand. She hadn't noticed me yet. The temptation to sneak up on her is unbearable. Years of watching foreign wildlife documentaries prepared me for this. I'm downwind. The conditions are favorable. However, the more I think about it, the more it seems like a bad idea. If I get caught halfway, I'll look like an idiot, and if she doesn't know it's me, I could end up with an injury. Either way, I'll also look like a little insensitive. It would probably be best to not try anything funny, as disappointing as it is. I walk in front of her, startling her a little. Why so surprised? Did I catch you slacking off? No, I was taking a break. You don't look like you even broke a sweat. Let some break there, President. Shizune's eyes dart back and forth momentarily. I think I managed to fluster her. The exasperation on her face and a little tension as well, but she can't back down. That'd be unthinkable for her. Her fingers came dance across each other impatiently. You're acting competitive today. Are you trying to get my blood boiling? Do you want to make it a contest? I'll race to see who can construct the most dolls by sundown. No, I'm teasing you. It's okay. It's not a real student council if you can't tease a student council president a little. You agree, don't you? That isn't in the student council charter, so it isn't true. There is no charter. At least I don't think there is. The only thing they pledge loyalty to are a stack of takeout menus. Anyway, it's good that you're finally here. Even if you couldn't have been earlier, pick up a hammer and we'll resume where we left off. As we work assembling stalls again, I slowly realize that it's really much less work than I would have expected. In fact, according to Shizune, we should be done by the end of the day with a little luck. Last time I did something like this for them, it took Hermisha and myself almost 4 days to do it. It can't be just my imagination. You know, this doesn't seem like that much work. Because it isn't. The answer leaves me wanting a little more, knowing that it isn't the best. Shizune puts down her hammer to elaborate. It'd be impossible for two people to do that much work in less than a week. The truth is that I don't dismantle half the stalls, I just store them someplace else. Actually, I'm more like I hide them in plain sight. She wiggles her fingers mischievously. But that's a secret. It's not proper to reveal the tricks of the trade. You're not a magician. Winking, she takes out the plastic containers from her bag and puts them down on a nearby board before raising her hand slightly as if to say ta-da. I made lunch today for both of us. You can have this one. The food shifted to my bag and now some of it's mixed together. She hands me one of the containers. I open it. It looks delicious if a little simple. She hands me a pair of the chopsticks as if she had just remembered to. And I eat what looks like some grilled beef. It's very tasty. You don't like your food touching other food? I do not. You're very picky. Sometimes I mix my food on my own, but not always, and not everything. I don't like it when it's done for me. What is important is the choice. She points decisively to emphasize that, and then breaks her chopsticks apart to eat her own meal. As I continue to eat, I notice two things. The first is almost everything I'm eating besides the rice is fried. Even the vegetables are fried. And there's so much meat. Does she eat this kind of stuff all the time? I wonder how she manages to stay so thin in spite of it. The second thing I notice is that I can't talk to her while eating. Talking with your mouth full is a little rude anyway. With our hands holding our chopsticks and bowls, communication between us is impossible, just like yesterday. Even though we're spending time together, though I took the time to learn sign language, it feels like I'm talking to her less. Despite that, it also feels like I'm understanding her more. I hear the sound of someone tapping against one of the stands and look up to see Lily standing off to my side, feeling her way around with a cane. Hi. I nearly catch myself before I can say didn't see you there. Oh, Isao, is that you? I thought I smelled something delicious cooking, and wondered who it might be. What is she saying? It's hard to move my hands in parallel to say something completely different to Lily. This has to be why Misha just signs everything all the time. A bit sillier, but it seems like it would be simplify things a lot. She soon tenses her fingers delightedly at my translation, as if from hearing a joke. All of the soup was cooked hours ago, but for someone as slow as yourself, you can't even turn in a piece of paper without being a week late. I guess your perception of time would have been a little different. That's not very nice. A frown crosses Lily's face in response to a reply to something she didn't hear. Sorry, I'm just having a late lunch here. The student council president cooked everything. Is the student council president here right now? She's right here. I apologize, I didn't notice. Normally her level of presence is much higher. I was not aware the student council serves lunch outdoors. Why wasn't I invited? I think that it is good to have enough free time to be able to do things like this, however. What is she saying? If I were to invite you anywhere, you would just show up late. But Shizu's words are outside of Lily's perception. The fact that it is by the second, increasingly maddening to her. Translate for me completely, please. What polite phrasing. It's a shame she is essentially taking me to let her fully release the dogs of war. Still, I can't just do nothing. The feeling of being unable to even respond to be understood is so isolating. She would never forgive me. I'll just try to soften her words a little. Well, actually, this was all cooked a while ago. Really? That's nice. Turn over here. It's very disrespectful to not look at the person you're speaking to. That isn't the way a prim and proper lady should conduct herself. Half of what I'm saying is really what Shizuna's saying. She doesn't really like it when people don't look in her direction when she's trying to make a point. She's, to the right of my voice. Although in this case I can understand why Lily wouldn't. This is a very awkward situation, and it's daunting being the sole conduit for dialogue between two of them. Truthfully, I'd forgotten what happened the last time they butted heads like this. It's clear Shizune remembers, and Lily's being pretty hostile herself in her own way. I'm sorry, such formalities slipped my mind completely. I forgot that the student council president is the type of person who would demand such respect and adherence to the rules at all times. I suppose student government requires you to keep a tight ship. Then again, she certainly has time for her own fun as well, so that would not be completely true. Student council is not a dictatorship, nor a zero-sum game. Shizune points at Lily with her fingers out like a barrel of gun and snaps her fingers explosively, causing her to flinch and become visibly upset. Is that so? Then that makes it more impressive that you have been part of it for so long, playing it as though it was one. I admire the fact that you are so tenacious to manage it all, but you must be so responsible as well. Not as much as I like to. You can't complain about yourself, though, can you? You're very responsible, acting like requesting a deadline to be extended and then running all the way through to the next deadline. That's a very model of responsibility. Shizuna is very happy to hear that, but apparently you're pretty responsible yourself, she says. Does she really? More or less. Lily doesn't seem very happy. We're not holding a cookout, we're just taking a little lunch break. We're actually out building stalls for the festival. You wouldn't know since you never go outside. Did you run out of tea? Are you going into town shopping? No, as I said before, I was just passing by in case you did not hear. I would hate to interrupt the student council president. You're not doing anything now, but you must both be very busy. In any case, Sal, I'm sure that the student council president will be able to find our work for the both of you if she needs to. I'll devour you. Oh, jeez. Yeah, very busy. What the fuck? Alright. Devour is a hard word. I'm pleased that I can read it. This isn't time to celebrate, not over that. Instead, it looks like they might stop squabbling. I would drink to that. Have a nice day, Sal. Goodbye, student council president. Thanks, you too. Stay classy. Wow. As soon as Lily leaves, she soon dives into the remains of her lunch as quickly as possible, as if each bite she shovels away is means to forgetting any of this ever happened. When she's done, she heads right back to hammering with the same mindset. It's good that she's working off her frustration, but now it doesn't look like she's in any mood to talk anymore. About 2 hours later, she stops having mowed through the rest of the stalls non-stop in that time. It still feels hard to approach her, and I think about how easily a conversation can die. After it took so long to be able to get her alone and speak to her directly, it almost hurts. Your translation was good. Really? First class. She punctuates it with a thumbs up. For your level. There aren't many deaf people in this school, and sign language classes have been on the edge of getting cut for a while now. I'm sure you don't have many classmates, am I right? If you're only learning sign language now, your speed is going to be limited. That is why it's interesting when it wanes, because it takes more effort than normal just to communicate. I imagine it's the same with all languages. In such situations, conversations in sign language are less than they would inherently be to start with. I don't understand that word. Less what? Spontaneously. Okay. Misha is the only person who can really capture it. Yeah, that's definitely true. Her expression changes for a second and changes back too quickly to digest, but I get the feeling that it isn't meant to be pursued. What I really want to know is, why do you and Lily fight so much? Tensing a little and visibly frowning, she soon tenses her fingers and overlays them repeatedly as if shuffling an invisible deck of cards. Two fights that you know of aren't worth calling so much. If you hadn't been there last year, you could say. I heard it was a rough year. Something about how you tried to institute a badge policy. Ha. Surprised? Well, I didn't want to hear more about that later, definitely, but you don't like Lily very much, do you? Don't dodge my question. I'm not dodging anything. She's part of the student council until last year. Well, we didn't get along very well. She wanted to keep doing things like the old student council did. The old student council was so ineffectual, it was stupid and insulting. I wanted to do more, and we had to fight. A lot of fights. She couldn't do anything on time. Then she said that what I wanted to do was meaningless, just extra busy work. Does this look meaningless, busy work to you? She gestured around us. What's really meaningless is a student council that does nothing, that doesn't do anything. Weak, lazy, and boring, especially boring. I can get excited over sitting in a room with nothing to do. That's just a waste of time. Why would I even be there? It didn't get my blood flowing. Arguing with her does that. If she could have been that motivated before, she would have put so much dedication into being my enemy. But she shows that much spirit. It's not a complete loss. At least it's something. It's still exciting. I see. And what about the badge thing? She laughs, covering her mouth with her hand as if to hide it. Her laughter is the only thing she's regularly tries to hide. That was just a joke. Having a little fun sometimes is important too. Oh, So Kenji just got played. Alright. The next day I end up having to hunt around a bit at the start of lunch when I find that my usual vending machine near the dormitory building is sold out of my usual favorite canned coffee. The detour takes longer than I expected. Things have been so hectic lately that it takes some time for me to register why something smells different as I walk through the school gardens back to my cafeteria. The grass has been freshly mowed. The realization makes me pause and watch for a bit. The odd groups of students chatting or playing around on the grass and a couple of teachers conversing on the path overhead makes for a very idyllic scene. Unfortunately, a feeling of imminent dread starts creeping up on me after a while. The feeling that I'm not alone. Hey, Sal, is that you? Yeah, it's me. Guess it should be I should be very happy it's him and not, say, a slasher. Kenji begins talking as if he is having a conversation with someone other than me. Knew it, that haircut is unmistakable. No normal person would have that haircut like that. Unconsciously, I start touching the back of my head. Once I realize what I'm doing, I feel insulted. Too surprised to even get indignant about it. Yeah, what are you doing here? Measuring the temperature. Winter will come soon. It'll be too cold for women to go out and have their Sexton City-style power lunches, followed by obstructive human a wave formation walked in crowded urban areas. When this happens, man will be able to walk the streets unfettered once again and reclaim what is his heritage. In order to prepare that day, I've been eating nothing but pizzas for the past few weekends to store energy. Okay. That's what bears do. So, there's much we can learn from the bear. Kenji nods empathetically, agreeing with himself. Okay, so check this shit out. I was walking in town today buying milk, and then the new clerk, some hipster girl with a baseball cap and with 2 hockey sticks on it. I'll call her a hipster baseball hat girl. I noticed the milk didn't have a price tag, so I told her to get over there and label the milk for future generations. He was in town today. He must have cut his morning class. I want to scold him, but his verbal torrent prevent me from getting a word in. She told me not to bother her because she was sick. Sick. We live in a society here. We can't just opt out of human interaction because you're sick. Do you know how much effort it takes for me to even get up in the morning? I still do, though. I go up in the morning, go down there and buy milk, not to have my vital questions just brushed aside by some hipster doofus, college girl who wears a hockey baseball cap to work indoors. Anyway, I was just trying to uphold the integrity of our products. A milk carton without a price tag. When I see something like that, it just leads to questions, important questions. It's your job to answer them, damn it. That's the problem with women, they have no sense of duty. I get diarrhea a lot, but you don't see me complaining about it. I soldier on and do what I have to do anyway, because that's what being a man is all about. Even if you have diarrhea, you keep going for the dream of a better tomorrow. Frequent diarrhea is a bad thing. Very bad. Maybe you should stop drinking so much milk. I can't do that. It's what allows me to maintain my awesome strength, and in this world, a man's strength is the only thing that can be broken out of him by an increasingly pussy-whipped society. That's why I walk around leaving open jars of olives everywhere, sometimes just to show that I can. Do you refrigerate after opening? What? Man, I don't know. That's not important. You have to refrigerate after opening. Even elementary school kids know that. They can't get the jar opened in the first place, so it doesn't matter. That's true. I'm a genius. He self-assuredly rubs his chin, which is something I imagine scientists did, until I met Matao, and was tremendously let down. Anyway, I can't go to the store again, since clearly I'm compromised by bitches, unless I disguise myself. Maybe change to a different pair of glasses. Worst disguise ever. I've been working flawlessly all these years. I don't even need glasses to see. They're for effect. Also to protect my identity. I'm like Superman. Worst disguise ever. Yep, I'm telling you. When people see my school ID, they can't even recognize me. Really? Let me see. Can't do that. I can't go around showing my ID to everyone. It was made long ago, and a different time. I had hippie hair. I'm trying to imagine that Kenji takes his glasses off. He squints as though they're off his face, which makes him look even more tired than he already does. He was right. He does look very different, kind of like he hadn't slept in years. Not different enough for it to be a good disguise, though. You need more sleep. Nah. You look like you need it. No way. They're just the eyes of a man who has seen things. A shaman's eyes. Terrible things that you can't imagine. Like when I made a ship in a bottle and my mom sat on it. There's blood and shreds of floral print everywhere. That's what life experience is. And he does seem very horrified, even though I think this is actually the first time, or the first thing he told me about himself that he could have been legitimately traumatic. He's also talking about 30 degrees to my left, so I guess his blindness is real. I wave a hand in front of him anyway to little effect. Might I hope you realize I'm just joking. I laugh pretending I did. Somehow looking him in the eyes is more difficult than usual. Want some trivia? People with small eyes wear big glasses. I read that somewhere. It's because it makes your eyes look less beady. Really? I didn't know that. He puts the glass back on. I feel oddly relieved for a moment until I remember that I still have to deal with him, glasses or not. Well, anyway, the artist girl wanted to paint my portrait once, I think. I had to think to her like 5 times before she started making sense. She must have been Rin, I suppose. What'd she look like? I don't know, a woman with sandals. I was hoping he'd say something more specific, like she had no arms. Rin does wear sandals, but I feel like the chance of that being another free-spirited female art student wearing sandals beside her is reasonably high. I was thinking, sure, someday after I burn all the documentation that exists, it might be okay to leave a portrait behind, so that maybe other people can look at it and remember the savior of mankind. They'll need it to model the statue. And I thought about it some more and had to turn her down. It was tempting, but she wanted it for some school thing. It'd be displayed. People would ask who I was, only I haven't saved the society yet, so it'd be pointless. And then if someone recognized me, I'd have to explain myself. That and an early chain of events I don't want to deal with. I don't want to get mixed up in some weird situation. Shit like this always happens. Sticking out is a surefire way to get put out on the list. That's why I made such a careful effort to blend in with people in my daily life until I can make my move. Sure. What list? There are many lists. So what are you doing here anyway? Nothing. I kind of got here by accident. Happens to me all the time. We'll hope that works out for you. I think I'm gonna go back to my dorm room and need to set my TV to record my shows. You have a TV? Yes, you should come over sometime. We can watch the game in high definition. Before I can ask him what he's talking about, he's gone. He left like he came, with some zero respect towards the other people. Kind of amazing. Now that Kenji's gone, I resume looking aimlessly at the school gardens in their summer splendor. There's no use, he ruined them for me. When I get back to the cafeteria, exhausted but alive, I think eating lunch with Sejun again, will find her sitting at a table with Misha ready. If it were anyone else, I would think how they were too far away for me to hear them. This is Sejun and Misha, however. If I wanted to, I could eavesdrop on their conversation easily. What a dirty thing to think about, but it's there. I don't want to go, though. They must have a lot of catching up to do, even if it's only been a few days. I'm inclined just to leave them alone so they can do that. However, the second they see me, they wave me over. Hiya, Chad. Hearing your voice again, even after such a short time, is jarring, and I wince. These past few days, I had forgotten the communication with Shoujo is almost entirely silent in concentration on getting it right. I tuned out even ambient noise. Well, I get used to it again. I'm glad she's back. I'm done making up all my work, just in time. I don't have to miss the festival. Wahaha. If they really tried to enforce that, I would pull you out of student council business. Pull you out on student council business. If they really tried to enforce that, you would pull me out of student council business? Yeah. That's abuse power. No, it isn't, Chan. Chad says that if there were only 2 student council members overseeing the festival, it'd be a problem, wouldn't it? Yeah, definitely. It has to be at least 3. It's for the good of everyone. It's perfectly reasonable. It's necessary. Shoujo leans across the table a bit as Misha delivers a slightly disturbing, militaristic justifications in a childish, bubbly up and down tone. Shoujo looks so happy, though, tenting her fingers and trying to hold back a laugh as Misha pouts more seriously on her behalf. If you say so. I'm actually happy right now that we can talk so easily to each other. All 3 of us. Oh. In the beginning, I thought that I might have found myself in a bad situation. I was sure that she wouldn't get would hate getting saddled with being tour guide for the new guy. I don't want to be that kind of burden either. It'd be awkward even if she were deaf and mute too. Just now she said that we would all have to be at the festival held student council. I don't think the student council has any real jurisdiction over Tanabata. It's only Shizun's way of saying that she wants us to spend it together. It's nice to have friends. It's a simple thought, but one that makes me genuinely happy that we could slip into being so much ease. Despite the roundabout way in which she said it, I'm glad that Shizun thinks it strongly enough to express it at all. Why did you wait until we waved you over to come sit with us? A question out of nowhere. Shizun's eyes are expectant as Misha repeats her message. I feel like teasing her. You want me to sit with you that badly? We're in the student council. We should sit together as much as possible. It's logic. Anyone would jump at the chance to sit with two cute girls anyway. She paused in case I might say something like, you're not that cute, and instantly locks myself into an obvious no-win situation when I don't take the bait. She soon becomes more energetic and continues. You're abnormal. Well, I didn't expect her to end it like that. You're too quick to call other people abnormal, so arrogant. You're too quick to call other people arrogant. That makes you arrogant, and arrogance is abnormal. You're double abnormal. It doesn't work that way. It's a sliding scale. Ha ha ha. Leaning on her arm, Misha closes her eyes and lets out a low, slow laugh like a chuckle. Don't laugh. Don't laugh in this kind of situation. I notice that Misha signs everything I say to Shizun anyway, even though I'm signing myself. This is redundant, but it's an unconscious action for Misha. On the other hand, I can't stop. I let myself take it easy and sign less just because Misha's back. That's what was then what was all this for? I don't want to risk losing familiarity with how to sign either. My hands are pretty slow to speak on behalf as it is. Hey Chan, you and Chan talk to each other much more now. Back and forth. It's really funny too. Like an old married couple, right? Right? What a loaded comment. In so many ways. Although, because it's Misha, it can't have been on purpose. That's not a compliment. She doesn't react to Misha trying to pair two of us up. Maybe she didn't see it sometime. It does happen. I've noticed it's still, I still wonder if it's really that simple and why I care so much, but I don't want her to think about it too hard. I want to leave, but I keep thinking about that I'm hogging Misha's time with Shizun. Could be that Misha cut it in just now on purpose. Feeling that way too, I doubt that either of them won't let me leave, though. In some ways, they're too nice. Anyway, Shizun, if you really want to know, I didn't want to sit here because I didn't want to intrude. I thought that because of Misha being away supplementary lessons or whatever, you two would have a lot to talk about. I should just leave you alone to catch up. That's why I thought I'd just hang back. Don't worry, Misha. I'm not trying to monopolize Shizun. Haha, Chan, it's not like that. You're so considerate, Chan. Chan is sorry and apologize. I don't really think it's worth apologizing over, so don't worry about it. Hey, don't you both think that since Misha's back, we should celebrate somehow? I think so. Hey, Chan, usually having to make up work isn't something to celebrate over. No, it's a good idea. The timing is perfect, and Shizun said that student council should have a little fun too sometimes. You probably haven't heard that. You probably heard that too, right, Misha? It should be fine. Actually, wait a second. Didn't you have to make up work because you were missing so many classes to begin with? So skipping out to celebrate would be kind of stupid. Maybe the timing isn't perfect, like I said, but we could go after school. Where should we go? Misha speaks Shizun's question to hear aloud before she even stops to think it over. Both of them completely ignoring me. Hey, listen to me. Two-man short-sighted student council team. Wow, hey Chan, you're part of the team too. Yeah, I guess I am. Yeah, you are, Chan. So forgetful and troublesome. I feel sorry for the girl who falls in love with you. So where do you think we should go? I'm laughing in spite of myself, wanting to point out how Misha seems so enthusiastic now, when she was the only one who was most apprehensive about it just a few seconds ago. For whatever reason, I can't bring myself to do it, but this is okay too. After a short discussion on where to go, it seems like the only place all three of us know are willing to travel to is Shanghai. tea house doesn't look like a bad place to celebrate, especially because I'm sure they sell cakes there, and cake is the most celebratory food. Uh, I I think I'm gonna end it here because it's a different location, so it's like starting anew. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, the low-key uh, comment from Shizune saying that she feels sorry for the person who falls in love with this How. Am I right?